What's up, tennis players? Today, not only am I wearing the pinkest shirt you've ever seen in your life, but I'm also going to go over 4 tennis serve drills for power. Now, if it's not your first time here and you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. And as we go along, if you find that you're liking the video, please like the video. Okay, our first drill is going to help you do a couple things much better on your serve. One, it's going to help this elbow to shoulder body segment on your serve go more forward. That's really important. A lot of people have the elbow go too far up and it doesn't really sync up with the rest of the body segments. And then the other thing the drill is going to help you do is get your racket to come around more to the side, back behind your back. And the drill I want you to do is just go out and sidearm a few balls. You're going to throw the toss out really far to your right, and you're going to try to use your existing service motion and just let that arm come around to the side. And it should feel very sidearmed. Don't worry about it going in right now, but just really almost feel like you're coming around to the side of the ball. And then what you want to do is take a few balls and just gradually pull that ball up slightly over your head, and that's going to help it translate into your real serve. So I'm going to start one really side-armed right here, and then I'm going to pull it a little higher, and then I'm going to try to really make it feel like I'm actually serving. And then you're really going to feel that racket whip around and help you out on your serve. Now, on the serve, it's really dangerous to think of this wrist as its own separate segment, that somehow everything stops and then the wrist makes this independent motion to snap and create power. That's just not the case. Now, certainly the wrist can move a little bit, but you really want to think about the tip of the racket to your elbow as one piece. Because when you hit the serve, you really want to feel this last body segment snap out to the hit. This is a really big, important part of getting power. So the drill I want you to do that's going to help you with this, it's going to help you not lay your wrist open, and it's going to help you get that forearm snap, is just a ball spike. I want you to try to spike the ball straight down into the ground and see if almost you can get it to bounce over the back fence. Probably can't do it. This fence is a little high, but I'm going to come in, I'm going to try to spike down with my forearm and see if I can hit the Camry. Oh, I made it. That one did not make it. That one did. That one did not. But now I'm going to move back to the baseline and I'm going to try to get that same feeling, but just hitting the ball more forward, and that's going to add some power to your tennis serve. Okay, on the serve, there's a lot of misunderstanding about the role of the legs. It's important to understand that simply bending and unbending the legs isn't going to really translate into very much racket head speed. What you're really trying to do is the knees really bend to just assist the coiling. So you want make sure your knees, when they bend, they also turn, because it's that ground reaction force in the unturning that's going to initiate body segments uncoiling, and that's what's going to really translate into racket head speed. I see so many players that just stay straight, bend their knees, and think somehow they're going to hit big serves. But you're really going to hit a much bigger serve if your knees torque, not just bend. So a good drill for that's called the Elvis Presley. So I'm going to bend my knees in like Elvis Presley. I'm going to go this way, I'm going to turn this way, and then I'm going to hit a serve. And just do that a few times. When you come back this way, make sure you feel that knee turn in and throw out to the side, and you're going to get that feeling of getting some racket head speed on your serve. Okay, tennis players, before we get on to the last drill, if you're enjoying or finding any value out of this, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. Now, on the serve, one common problem we see is where the wrist and palm turn early. The brain will try to find any way to try to get those strings to the ball before it actually should. But when you don't do that, if you can do what I say, what I call deny the ball the strings longer and not turn it up, this link is going to collapse better, and it's going to help all your body segments stretch out more and connect better. And that's really going to translate into racket head speed. And one thing I notice is when people throw things, they are not worried about making contact with the ball, and they're much better off back here letting this body segment collapse. So I got a couple aluminum kids rackets here. I can't do too much damage to them or the court. You can also find a large grass field to do this with, but what I want you to do is I want you to go out to the court, find some old rackets or a field, Make sure you're using your existing Continental grip, your real service grip. Pass the racket over your head, and what I want you to do is just chuck a few rackets as far as you can. Make sure you're throwing in an upward direction and just really loosen your arm up and throw your rackets. And what I notice is people do much better with this body segment when they're throwing. So it's important to keep in mind when you're doing this and you're getting all this racket head speed and you're crushing serves, remember, professional tennis players hit their first serve in roughly 65% of the time. They're professionals, they do this for a living. The reason is when you hit a hard flat ball, your acceptance window becomes very small. You only have a very small margin that it can pass over the net and not go long. So you should also understand having degrees of spin. If you hit a very flat serve hard, there's a little long there, I went a little too high, you can also add a little bit of spin to make it a little bit safer, to have a slightly bigger acceptance window, and then you could add a lot of spin to make it much safer. And if you don't understand that, having varying degrees of spin, again, check out the link in the description. Check out my Serve Fundamentals course. Go back to the beginning and make sure you're understanding pronation. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Just like Elvis Presley, uh-huh. Oh God. That's just silly.